guys, welcome back to the Hominids, episode 2. We're going up.
Yeah, we
Slightly,
continue
but,
with this, which is a surprise, but I'm really glad.
Yeah, no, usually we just give it up after first
Real.
whatever.
Well, ever. I don't think we've ever started anything, but it's okay.
That is true. There's a lot of things we said we'd stop and never did.
And that's never ended up doing.
But yeah. Today
yeah.
you had the plan for the
So
thing, the podcast. Yeah,
the thing. Yeah.
the thing. You know, the one we're doing.
No, but yeah. So today is I think our first official episode where we're actually getting into a topic and kind of talking about it in detail. And so I thought it would be fitting because it's our first episode and we're talking it's the beginning of this journey of a podcast. I think it would be very fitting to start with talking about the beginning of the earth and how the earth was created. And I mean, obviously we don't know, but the different theories that people have suggested and kind of get into those. And I don't know, yeah, just discuss about that, and I think give our inputs and all that stuff. So yeah.
It's a very sciencey way to start the podcast, despite us really emphasizing on human sciences. We really use physics.
That's true.
But obviously, we're not gonna go really deep in the physics part because I mean, you could if you have things that you know how to explain, then yeah.
No,
I genuinely forgot all my physics after the 10th grade.
I'm genuinely failing my physics class, so I think not. I think we'll stick with I'll stick with the simple.
We'll just dabble in and then just we'll just go into the shallow end and then come right back out.
Yeah, I think
go back to being humanity.
We're talking more about the principle of having these theories, not that made no sense. My English is horrible, but it was basically just talking about how the actual theories were made to be in the context that they exist in, rather than the actual theories, because I feel none of us want to get into that because it's physics.
Neither of us are
physics genius.
The best at the subject, so we're not going to be able to talk about. Honestly, if there's someone who hops on the podcast who's really good at sciences and stuff, we could really talk. They could really explain a lot.
That's true. We have classmates who are physics nerds.
We do. I think, at least in one friend group in my school.
Yeah.
Everyone's a physics nerd, and I think you know who they are.
Yeah,
I can't say their names, but
they know who they are
science. If you're listening, you know who you are.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Okay, but yeah, so the first theory that I think we should get into is the most famous, the one and only Big Bang Theory. I don't know. I think that this is one of the most widely accepted and widely used theories of how the Earth came to be, and just basically from the scientific aspect of it, how the Earth came to be, and planets, blah blah blah, all that fun stuff, and so much so to the point where we literally have a series based off of it. But yeah, so basically...
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, I love that show. But yeah, basically,
it's really nice.
The Big Bang Theory is the prevailing cosmological model explaining the early development of the universe. So basically, what it's suggesting is that around 13.8 billion years ago, the universe began as in a point, a little dot, and then kind of expanded and exploded, but in slow motion, over billions and billions of years. And so it's it started it's a hot dot, and then expanded as it cooled, and that's kind of what we have today. But yeah, and it's kind of based off of evidence of radiation and the afterglow of initial explosion. If you look at pictures of space, you can see this slight afterglow, and I don't know, it's uniformly detected.
There's also the theory.
No, go.
Not theory. There's also the thing about you can still hear the sound waves from the Big Bang.
Yeah, exactly. If you that's, I think that's what they mean by radiation, but Yeah, so like these like little like waves and stuff. But yeah, I think that's like what they mean by that. But yeah, so what do you think about that?
You really just like threw a whole scientific concept and you went like, what do you think about it? Okay, well, obviously I do have an opinion
As you should.
because as one does, yeah. Um, I agree. There's not much to it, is there? Like, well, I don't know. 'Cause it is still a theory at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
No one has seen the Big Bang to be like, oh, yeah,
Yeah, back in my day.
Big Bang. Trust. You're back in my day, but it's also like, I don't know, because it's like that's one approach, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
to explain the start of the universe. It's a very scientific approach. There's a lot of scientific evidence, but one thing is, we still have to like consider the fact that it is a theory because one day you could just get like a bit of like some form of evidence, just
Yeah.
going like, oh, the universe did not start with a Big Bang,
Yeah.
and that will like break science. Like a lot of what we know is just really just built on top of other theories.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like for example, in chemistry, the periodic table.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone ever proves the periodic table to be wrong,
Yeah. Then like the
with
whole
like
subject.
like there's all like, yeah, exactly. The whole subject just crumbles
Mhm.
because so much is just dependent on the composition of an atom.
Yeah.
So it's like while it is an explanation, it is also while it is like a very accepted explanation, it is also still a theory,
No, for sure.
which really makes like science very difficult, doesn't it?
Yeah, because I think like for example, if you look at like math, right? So if you have like it's like the theories, like if you have like mathematical theories, they're so easy to prove. Like you can do all the
Yeah.
calculations, like possible calculations, and like actually prove it. But I feel like for scientific theories, it's like so difficult because you can't like prove, or you can't like witness the Big Bang, or like have like solid evidence, because like also evidence, like what is evidence? Evidence is kind of like you taking something that you find today and like kind of like molding it to like explain something that you believe in.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's so subjective.
Like, yeah. Now, I know that at least in the chemistry class, right, what we learn is still like very, like you can see that these are like the concepts that we learn. They're like derived from an experiment, right?
Yeah.
Like this is probably not the best example because the model of the atom has, been better, but like I think it was the Ernest Rutherford model. It was like a gold. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was the Ernest Rutherford model. It was like a gold sheet, like which is like one atom thick, and he sent like rays from an alpha particle,
Yeah.
and like saw how much it diverted, like right,
Yeah.
like where they would move to, because I'm not really explaining this really well, but it basically showed that there was like a very concentrated positive nucleus in an atom.
Yeah.
So you see things like that, and this is like he came up with this model because of the experiment that's been conducted.
Yeah.
So it's like you can see that it's deriving an idea, but the thing is, and also like making connections. While we all have, there's like a lot of exceptions a lot of the times, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like when you learn anything like in any science subject,
Oh, yeah.
you learn that
Always.
there's like an exception for something. So it's like it's really just like science is really just like making sense of what you see in the world.
For sure. It's like kind of like finding an explanation for things, and like a lot of times, like as you said, like because theories are so like interdependent on each other, it's like even if like one was like slightly proved wrong, like literally every like the whole like scientific like realm would like come like crumbling down because everything is so like based off of each other. But the thing like with the Big Bang Theory that I find like hard to believe is like how everything just stemmed from this one single point. like why did it expand? Like
Yeah.
why did it explode, and why so slowly, and like how do we know that it happened? It's just I find it difficult to believe, and I know it's like the most like widely accepted theory, but I don't know how much
Yeah.
I agree with it.
I don't know enough physics to really comment on the theory itself,
That's fair.
like the technicalities, but from what I do know, I can sort of, I don't know, because I haven't really studied this field of science before,
yeah.
right? But like I can understand like parts of it. It's just like there's a lot of things that we learn that I try connected to the Big Bang, right?
Yeah.
And then and it's like it kind of makes sense but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like for example the oh god, I'm like blanking out. Oh yeah, the matter can never be destroyed or
Yeah. Like never be like
created,
created or
like
destroyed.
it converts. Yeah. But like imagine like a really dense thing that like exploded into the Big Bang.
Yeah.
Like how like, I don't know exactly how the Big Bang started, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm like in my mind. I'm like thinking of something really dense, but I can't imagine something that dense.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, because like I don't think those levels of like matter actually exist. But like the thing is, you like my whole issue with this is that there's no way that you would know for sure. And like if there's no way that I'm like 100% sure about something, I don't know how much I like fully believe it. Like I mean I accept it, but I don't know if I believe it.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know. Well, moving on, there's another theory that is a bit more like, I guess, philosophical, but it's like the steady state theory, which was proposed by Fred Hoyle, Thomas Gold, and Herman Bondi. Bondi? I don't know. Like Bondi Beach. Anyways, basically, basically, it's like, it states that like the universe like always was existing, like it's always been eternal and it's always exists in a constant state, but like it like it slowly expands like as like new matter is like created to fill like voids, but
New matter.
yeah, because
So
like,
that like completely contradicts.
exactly, which is like really interesting because I mean I guess in the Big Bang Theory like new matter was created like as it expanded, but I don't know, there's this, I don't know if I know.
I think there's a very scientific explanation for the Big Bang.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like we would understand it as new matter being created, but like I think if we had like honestly, if we had a physicist on this, right? I feel like a lot of our questions would be answered.
This
But
is so
I'll just be
true.
more confused because
Yeah.
you have to start from explaining what an atom is for me and then build on from there.
But like also this.
I am passing my HL chemistry.
Oh, as you should.
Just, you know,
Period.
just so you know.
Period. As you should. Queen behavior. Anyways, we we also like the philosophical implications of the theory. Like why it was like very appealing is because it's like kind of like disproved the need for having like a theory to like say like the beginning or end of the universe. So it's just like it's always going to
Yeah.
exist, and so that was just like a very appealing idea to people. Like it's like an easy way out kind of explanation for it, because like at that time was like that period of time was like mid 20th century where people were like trying to find out all these like theories, like where science was like kind of like booming at that moment, and so it's like people just wanted to like find answers, and so if this was like an easy way out, like why not, you know?
Yeah.
So,
No, mid 20th century was like quite the time for research in general because I mean I'm writing my extended essay in anthropology and like I see there's so much that we've learned in the mid 20th century. So I feel like because of the mid 20th century, like all the advancements in technology, we were able to research so much that today we realize there's so much more we need to research.
yeah
Like the more you know, the more you don't know.
Yeah, that's so true. It's just, I don't know. It's really interesting how, like, literally everything is built off of those people that started the research in, like, the mid-20th century.
Yeah.
And it's like, if they hadn't started it then, like, the way we perceive science and, like, the world would be, like, so different right now. Because, like, theories are built off of theories. Like, ideas are like people get ideas from like previous ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like the like I don't know. It's just so interesting. But
philosophy is a major component as well because
mhm.
of that thinking. You can see, like, at least with the history of science, a lot of things, right? Like the
Mhm.
atom, the concept, the astronomy in general.
Yeah.
It all started from like philosophers, hasn't it? They were
Yeah.
thinking, like they studied their fields a lot, and but then they are still philosophers because
Mhm.
they thought. But yeah, that's something we could talk about in the human evolution
Yeah, I think so.
episode.
I think that could be
Yeah.
one of our future podcasts in this possible season of episodes. But yeah, so like another theory that was like kind of proposed like a bit more recently, like in the 1980s, by
Mhm.
Alan Guth, is cosmic inflation. So it's kind of like addresses some of the shortcomings of the Big Bang theory, and like suggests that like
Right.
instead of the like the explosion of like the Big Bang happening like really slowly throughout time, it was very rapid and happened like faster than the speed of light. And so I think that kind of apparently there was a lot of like speculations and like concerns of the Big Bang theory, like why did it happen like at that pace and stuff like that, and like a lot of like different like irregularities and like things like that. So if like the explosion happened really quickly, it would smooth out any irregularities and like ensure like uniformity across like the
Right.
explosion, and that like I feel like makes a lot more sense. And so yeah, and also it's like inflation helps explain like the cosmic inflation. It helps explain like why different regions of the universe that are so far apart have like similar temperatures and similar properties, because like if they all exploded at like such a fast rate, then they wouldn't have time to like evolve and adapt. So I don't know. I think that's really interesting. But again, like building
There's
off
a lot.
of go.
No, you go ahead.
No, I
You're
was just
saying
saying.
something.
No. I was just saying like that kind of like goes back to the point of like how, like theories are built off of theories, and kind of goes to like amplify that or like underscore that, because like the Big Bang theory is kind of a starting point, and I think that from now what we need to do is like keep building off of it and trying to get like solid evidence to like build that theory. I don't think we can call it a theory. I mean, yeah, it is a theory, but maybe it's like a bit more hypothetical. So yeah.
That's the thing. Either you prove a theory more. That's a lot of the different theories for like how the world started, how the universe started, or rather, is like either taking a pre-existing theory, adding on, or changing parts of it, right?
Yeah.
Parts of the explanation. And then just like that will become a completely different theory.
Mm-hmm.
Or it would be like you completely disprove that theory, like completely.
Yeah.
Which like it depends on how you're approaching it, right? Like you obviously have the scientific approach, but you also have the religious approach.
For sure. Yeah, I think like there's definitely like multiple ways of looking at it, because like again, like at that period of time people were trying to find answers, and like they were desperate for answers, and so like a lot of times like if you look at like disproved or like falsified theories, it's like they're based off of such like, I don't know, coincidences or like small things that have like long since been like explained by different scientific theories, and it's just really interesting. But yeah, so like the next three the next three theories that we're gonna talk about, I think, are very, I mean, not, they're like less scientific based and like more kind of hypothetical, less accepted theories. So the first one that I think you probably already know is the multiverse theory, which like suggests that our universe is just one of many universes that have like are existed for a long time, like potentially like eternally, and they all have like potentially different laws of physics and like different constants, things like that. And that's basically like quantum mechanics, and like talking about parallel universes and like quantum events that occur in like separate parallel universes, which also kind of leads to string theory, which is like a way of like compactifying like different dimensions, which could potentially lead to like a multitude of universes. And I'm really excited about this because I just recently rewatched Spider-Man, like the new Spider-Man.
That's very valid.
Into the Spider-Verse, and it's such a good movie, and it's like also very much based off of this theory, and so
Yeah.
but it like raises so many like questions about like life and like in general, like how like
This
reality, how we perceive our reality and like the nature of
Yeah,
existence
yeah.
itself.
Yeah, this theory is like, it's so prevalent though, that's the thing. Like, whether it's accepted or not is a different story.
Yeah.
But it's so prevalent because you hear a lot of people just like, obviously, like, every day you hear
Yeah.
people make jokes, right? Like, in a parallel universe, I'd be getting a 7 in this subject, right? Like, those kinds of jokes, right?
Yeah.
But like, when you like actually look at, I think this is one of the more, almost every single person who studies physics, right?
Yeah.
They bring up something regarding this,
Yeah.
like topic, quantum
sure.
mechanics, string theory, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you see how passionate people are about
Mhm.
learning it. Because, at least for me, when I think of like, because this theory is like really on like saying everything has just always existed, right?
Yeah.
But then you look at time, and you're like, there's a beginning to everything. So if everything has just always existed, so is there even a beginning?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. That's such
Because
a,
if you're
that's
saying
such
there
an
is a
interesting
beginning
thought.
for everything, yeah. Like if you're saying there's a beginning for everything, but you're also saying this has just always existed, then something is like,
not
you
adding
know,
up.
it's not adding up. Yeah.
Something's fishy. Nah, but yeah, like literally,
Something's
I
fishy.
feel like where did we even come up with the concept of like having to have a beginning and an end? Like I
Yeah.
just think that's so interesting. I never thought of it like that until you said it. But it's like, why do we look for this like concept of a beginning, a concept of like what's the opposite of eternal? Like mortality? I don't know.
Mortal is like, I think that's human though.
Yeah, I don't know. English is not Englishing, but yeah.
But like, you get what I mean. But yeah, see, it's like, that's the thing. Because we thought of everything as having a beginning,
yeah,
that's why we do so much research, don't we?
yeah,
Especially like
true.
the beginning of the universe.
uh-huh.
Whether or not there was even a beginning, the reason why we do so much research is because we're thinking like there is a beginning to everything, so there must
Yeah.
be one for the universe.
Yeah. But
So it's very philosophical, isn't it?
it is. But also, are there any
I think it's time to
things-
change my extended essay
Real.
to philosophy and like do this.
Honestly, that would be so fun. But I don't
I
know.
swear.
It's just like, do we have anything in like our current universe that we have like defined as eternal? Like material things, like physical objects that we've defined as eternal.
Whether we have, there's like, we would have turned it into a theory, wouldn't we?
That's so true.
We never said anything is eternal. We just went like, it is eternal because, as
Yeah.
per this theory.
Oh,
But then every theory has a counter theory
yeah, that's true. That's so true.
that says it's not eternal. So it's like, science
Yeah.
is like a really, like you think science is like definite, but it's only you learn it as something definite because that's
Yeah.
all we know so far,
Exactly. And again, like,
and it's the most accepted idea.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say. But like, yeah, going back to like the whole like, I mean, I'm sorry to keep bringing up TOK in these episodes, but like, according to theory of knowledge, it's like our knowledge is, guys, I'm like this close to getting like a B.
She's
or
trying to
something.
secure that A in TOK.
Yeah, I'm trying, guys. Can you tell? But no, wait. What was I saying? Yeah, like knowledge is. What was I actually saying? I don't even remember. Something about knowledge. Something about
Knowledge acquisition, maybe.
No, yeah, like how like knowledge are the way that we acquire knowledge.
Certainty. Yeah.
Bro's listing the concepts. No, but like.
But I'm actually getting the A. So it's like,
Oh, wow,
she's
okay.
trying. I'm getting them.
Okay, someone has a big ego. No, but yeah, like I was just talking about like how like knowledge and like the way that we like acquire the knowledge has such an effect on the way that we perceive things and like these theories, because like if we're taught that this is the way that things are, then why would we question it? So we just kind of accept it without like thinking critically about it. And yeah, I just think that's like crazy.
That's the thing. Like, it's also while we do, like, okay, obviously there are some times where you're like encouraged to question it.
Mm-hmm.
It's also that science is taught in such a way that you're looking at everything in one specific perspective, realistically.
Yeah.
Because you can say, oh yeah, like my bottle is a thermal flask, it's made of metal, whatever, right? You can say my bottle it keeps my water cold or hot.
Yeah.
Because of the composition of the composition of the bottle.
Yeah.
And that's what you're taught, because that's what everyone, like, not everyone, but it's most agreed on, that idea.
Yeah.
But then I could say, like, in my mind, I could say my water's cold or my water's hot, it stays that temperature. Because, I don't know, God made it that way. God was like, this water stays cold. Not that God is like spending each and every moment with me and making, like, just like specifically making sure my water's cold. But like, I could say that, but then I won't be taught that in a science class.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's like one of the things, like when you're splitting up subjects as like science, humanities, religion, philosophy, right, all that.
Yeah.
You're learning the same thing using a different approach.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. That's really interesting. But anyways, so the next, not me like a transition. So anyways, it's like so
anyway.
But yeah, so
now on that note, let's move
on. Leave me alone. So the next one that I wanted to talk about is a bit crazy, and it's the simulation hypothesis. And so it's basically,
I see, we're getting a bit freaky here. Oh, you guys can't see me, but I'm so disappointed in myself for saying that. I can't believe I just done that. Okay. That's staying, I don't care, honestly.
It's just gonna be aired to everyone who watches this, which is like 5 people, but it's okay.
Yeah, anyways. It's like me watching it like 3 times so we get our views up. Monthly listener 1, yeah, that's me.
2, bro, I listen too.
No, 2, yeah, 2. 3 when your friends are like so too.
That's so true. But sorry if you're listening to this, hey. But basically the simulation hypothesis, I'm gonna kill myself, is basically that like our perceived reality might be a sophisticated simulation created by an advanced civilization. So basically there was this philosopher called Nick Bostrom that argued that if like civilizations can create highly realistic simulations, that it's more likely that we're living in one rather than like based reality. Because it's like if it is possible to like make that, like because of technological considerations, like as technology advances, like we've seen that with AI and like virtual reality, like we're like slowly blurring the lines between reality and like virtuality, and so it's like very existential, like our whole understanding of like reality and like the reality that we live in and exist in could just be a simulation. And like this reminds me of like when I was little, and I used to watch this cartoon where it was like there was the it was not a cartoon, it was a movie, like Horton Hears a Who, like how they live in like a little like thing where there's a bigger world outside them, but they're like a tiny little part of like
like they're like a really small thing, and then exactly
and so it's like
Whoville, right?
Whoville. So it's like, what if we, like Earth or like the universe as we know it, is our own Whoville, and we're just like a little like, I don't know, a little like science experiment in like some kid's bedroom. I don't know, it's just so interesting.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of movies even that just like not like think of it in a scientific aspect, but like they just like implement this idea that like there's a really small civilization, stuff like that. It's very I don't know, because we haven't like, we've been to space,
Yeah.
but we're assuming space is as far as it goes,
Yeah.
aren't we?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah. So
I
it's
mean,
like
technically,
we think what space is.
No, I don't know. Have
We do think there is something else.
Yeah, I think we do think, but there's no way to know. So it's not been like proven yet. But sorry, yeah, continue.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically, like, there's a lot. Yeah, you're right. Like, what if it's just a simulation? The whole Matrix thing.
Yeah.
Matrix. I think I've just accidentally named a shampoo bottle.
Yeah,
no, it is Matrix.
No, Matrix. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways,
but it's like there's a lot. I don't know, because you can really just say anything, can't? Well, I mean, obviously you can't just say anything.
Yeah.
Like, you need some evidence to back it up. But the only reason why we're asking for evidence is because we think something can't be true unless there's something proving it. And usually evidence would ideally be us just being like, oh, like, usually evidence, like, if you would believe something if you saw it with your own eyes. But I don't know, it's like a really, knowledge is just very big topic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You can't really explain anything.
Yeah, that's so
But
true.
yeah, the Matrix is like something a lot of people talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially that movie.
The Matrix.
Is the movie just called Matrix?
Yeah,
the Matrix.
The Matrix.
Especially that movie. Everyone just like, so after that, everyone's like, we're living in a simulation.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like, there's a lot about that. It's actually, I don't know, because I feel like generally everyone knows all these theories, don't they?
Yeah.
They don't know the name of the theories and stuff, but they know the idea of the theory.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's like talked about a lot, not in a scientific manner, but it's like it's talked about, right?
Yeah.
Like in a parallel universe, I would be doing this,
Yeah.
or it's all the simulation. Someone else is controlling all of this.
Yeah. For sure.
You know, there's like all these theories, and everyone just sort of like, you can't say you don't understand where it's coming from, because you do.
Yeah.
You can see like an element of that theory and just be like, yeah, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, I guess so. That's so true. But yeah, I think that kind of like wraps it up. And like the third like kind of non-scientific aspect I was gonna talk about was like the religious like creation myths that we have. Yeah. But honestly, I think there's so much to unpack there that it should be its own episode. And so yeah, I think tune in for the next episode, because it's going to be very interesting. Organized by Srividya.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I've already got some points down already, but I think like I'll go expand more.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited for that, because I was talking to someone about the whole mythology. Yeah. Mythology? No, not mythology. Physics and Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is mythology. Yeah, we were talking about physics and Greek mythology and how they're like very intertwined.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something we could also discuss on this podcast. So I think like that's something we can really like easily take up half an hour for, to be honest. There's so much to talk about. Yeah, for sure.
And also I think that's like a lot more up our alley, because this episode we were kind of like rambling about theories that we don't really like know too much about, like from the scientific aspect.
Yeah, maybe what we could do, so obviously after this episode goes out, we, you know, finish our exams and everything. Yes. And then we come back to this at like a later date, like maybe like a year from now, like a few months from now. Yeah. Come back to this, because then we would have like learned a bit more. For sure. And discuss these topics again.
That's so true.
It will be like you could see like a growth in our knowledge.
Yeah, and you know how like Taylor Swift does her like new albums, like Taylor's version, so we can like redo it and be like,
we can just go back.
Yeah.
Except hers is more like hers is like considering like an actual issue. Ours is just like, are we stupid or not?
Yeah. I mean, it's a real issue to me. If I'm stupid,
real.
What am I gonna do?
My knowledge is a real thing. I care about my knowledge a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that wraps it up for today.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright. See you next time.
Thank you for listening.
Yep.
I hope you're listening on Spotify, because we really want monthly listeners. But I hope you're listening on YouTube too. You know what? Just play both of them together at the same time. They'll sink in.
Yeah, anyway. Watch it twice, watch it thrice, watch it with your friends, your mom.
Watch it with me. I don't mind watching it. Oh, I don't mind watching this.
Yeah,
But like, don't
ask
look at me while we're watching
Yeah,
it because
don't ask me to
I
watch it
don't
with you,
want to like
I
see you
won't.
look at me.
But anyway.
Yeah, no, Malcolm won't, but I will. I'll be there. I'll be like giving you like background information about what's happening. Anyway,
Alright
yeah,
then.
let's say goodbye, my friends.
Okay, bye.
Bye.